a Nike commercial other than a Gatorade commercial? How many commercials have you seen of companies putting WNBA players as the face of their commercial? I can't think of one. The only commercial that comes to mind is the Paige Bueckers Coach commercial, and they don't even put that on television. That seems to be strictly a League Pass commercial that they show us while we're watching WNBA on League Pass. Other than that, has there been any State Farm commercials not featuring Caitlin Clark that you've seen throughout
The most damaging revelation in this unfolding scenario is how quickly the broader sports world shifts its attention once Caitlin Clark is no longer generating daily headlines. Social media engagement collapses almost overnight, sports talk shows quietly scale back their WNBA segments, and the wave of casual fans who once flocked to the league because of Clark's magnetic personality drift effortlessly back to other sports. This isn't a minor setback, it's a full reversal of the momentum the league had been celebrating for the past 2 years. What's being exposed is the fragility of a business model built on a single superstar rather than sustained league-wide interest. The WNBA had touted record attendance, surging TV deals, and unprecedented cultural relevance, but without Clark at the center, those trends revert to their historical baseline: low viewership, limited media coverage, and arenas struggling to fill even with heavily discounted tickets. In this narrative, the league isn't just losing a player, it's losing the engine that powered its entire rise.
Whole sports media is upset at the WNBA for what they've been doing to Caitlin Clark. You hear me? Depriving everybody from enjoying the game of basketball. You hear me? She put women basketball back on the map. Yes, the WNBA has been irrelevant. And I'm glad everybody is speaking up. Colin Cowherd, Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless. Yeah, everybody upset. Bruh, like, these women, they so petty, bruh, and they don't even care, dog. They don't mind hurting themselves just to hurt you, bruh. That's crazy.
The playoff implications are perhaps the most devastating consequence of this crisis. The WNBA playoffs, traditionally the league's marquee showcase, are now entering their most critical stretch without their primary draw. Television executives who had relied on Clark-driven ratings to justify their programming investments are now facing games struggling to attract even 500,000 viewers. This creates a domino effect: lower viewership reduces advertising revenue, which in turn undermines the league's ability to sustain player salaries and operational budgets. Most tellingly, this situation validates every criticism skeptics had raised about the WNBA's supposed breakthrough moment. Those who argued that the league's growth was artificially inflated by a single superstar, rather than reflecting genuine, sustained fan interest, have been proven correct. The market has spoken with brutal clarity: WNBA basketball without Caitlin Clark is a product that most consumers simply don't want, no matter how aggressively it is marketed.
Similar reactions to the drastic change in ticket prices following Clark's injury. Because it's unwatchable without her, someone else added, did her injury deflate ticket prices or just prove she's the entire league's economy? Another person wrote, honestly, I'm surprised it isn't more than that. I would have guessed 50%. No matter what you think about Clark, she brings people to watch. We're lucky to be able to see her. I hope she comes back strong. You don't have to like her, but she is the headline and puts butts in.
Commissioner Angelbert's legacy will be defined by how catastrophically she mismanaged the league's most valuable asset. Instead of establishing protective systems to ensure Caitlin Clark could thrive, Angelbert oversaw a system that allowed excessive physicality to flourish, ultimately failing to safeguard the player responsible for the WNBA's financial resurgence. The result: a season-ending injury to the very person whose presence determined the league's relevance. The current crisis is a brutal case study in how quickly artificial success can evaporate when built on unsustainable foundations. A league that once proclaimed its arrival as a mainstream entertainment option is now scrambling to maintain even basic audience interest without its primary attraction. Ticket prices are plummeting, television ratings are nearing historical lows, and sports media coverage is rapidly diminishing, all because the league failed to protect the one asset that had made its recent success possible.
Understand why anyone in the WNBA picks on Caitlin Clark. I mean, I think we're kind of over that phase. I think people just know she is that person for the league, but she is literally the reason they're flying planes, charter planes to games. Like, she is the reason that they're on ESPN consistently. They're not on ION all the time. They're on ESPN, especially once the NBA playoffs end. They're on ESPN all the time. Like, that was not the case before Caitlin Clark arrived. And it still puzzles me that like one player transformed the league and like she was the chosen one. We've talked about that all the time here. But the bottom line is she legitimately...
The harsh mathematical reality facing the WNBA is undeniable. Without Caitlin Clark, the league is reverting to its pre-2024 state of irrelevance faster than even pessimistic critics expected. Ticket prices have collapsed, ratings have evaporated, and media interest has cooled so dramatically that some networks are questioning their continued investment in WNBA programming. The league that once believed it had finally arrived is learning the brutal truth: sustainable success requires more than one transcendent individual. Without Clark, it's right back to struggling for relevance in a crowded sports landscape that has already moved on to more compelling entertainment options. The message is devastatingly clear: without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is exactly what it was before her arrival, a niche product largely ignored by mainstream sports fans. The ratings don't lie, attendance figures don't lie, and ticket prices don't lie. Caitlin Clark was the league's entire business model, and her absence has exposed just how hollow its supposed growth truly was. Until her return, the league will continue its rapid descent back into the obscurity where it spent most of its 28-year history.